Hello and welcome back to Fallout 76. Once again, I'm at the Rusty Pick, which means it's time to spend some legendary script. We'll be spending 2,500 on 25 ranged weapons. This character doesn't know any of the gold bullion plans, which means everything I get should be tradable, so if I get something good, I can actually put it on a character that can make use of it. Let's start things off with a bang. Troubleshooter's combat shotgun, replenish AP with each kill, and a chance to generate a stealth field. If you watched any of my videos, you know I hate that third star because I think it's completely useless. Replenish AP on each kill is actually not that bad for a shotgun. I'd rather have VATS hit chance though, or extra critical damage. Troubleshooters, I just don't want something that's enemy specific, so overall we are starting with script. Next up, we've got an Exterminator's Plasma Pistol with replenish AP on each kill and 15 bonus VATS critical charge. Exterminators, I don't really want a weapon that gives me extra damage against bugs. Replenish AP on each kill is actually decent for this because plasma guns have a very high AP cost, so that's a good effect. And VATS critical charge, that's actually a good effect too, but the first star makes this total garbage. Next up, we've got a Mutant's Enclave Plasma Pistol with critical damage and chance to generate a stealth field. Okay, third star sucks. Mutants is okay, it's a mid-tier effect, so you're going to get 25% extra bonus damage if you have, I think you need 5 mutations for that. I think it's 5% per mutation. And critical damage is good, but that third star is not that great. Plus the having to find mods for this is kind of a pain, so overall this is not something I'm going to keep. Next on our list is a Stalker's Pipe Pistol with damage while aiming and reduced AP cost. Okay, this sucks all kinds of ways. Stalkers, it's one of those effects that could be really good in theory, but in reality it's just unpredictable, so that's not very useful to me. Damage while aiming and VATS AP cost, one of those is a VATS effect, one is a non-VATS effect. So overall this is just a mess that I want to get rid of. Next, we've got a Quad Western Revolver with bullets explode and 90% reduced weight. Well, they normally hold, 6 rounds or 5 rounds? 6 rounds? I don't know, but it's saying we have let's see, 24 capacity. Oh, so it's normally 6 rounds. Yeah, I guess that would be. It's a 6 shooter. So we're holding 24, which is good. Bullets explode is good. Reduced weight. I don't find that all that useful on a pistol. Overall, this is something that would be more of a curiosity than something that I would actually use. Next up, we've got another Stalker's Gatling Gun. Replenish AP with each kill and reduced AP cost. Gatling gun's not really something I want to use in VATS. I have tried them, but the AP cost is rather high. So this is more of a stand and shoot without aiming kind of weapon rather than a VATS weapon. So those second and third stars aren't going to be all that useful. And the first one is just, yeah, that's just terrible. So this is second, third star could be good effects, just not on this gun. So far things are going quite terribly, but we have a long way to go. And next up, there is Executioner's Grenade Launcher with critical damage and reduced weight. Reduced weight is okay, but it looked like it weighs 7 pounds normally. Critical damage could be really good, but it is explosive, so I would want 2-shot. And since it's not 2-shot, we are moving on. Next, we've got a Juggernaut's Gatling Gun with VATS hit chance and damage resist while aiming. Juggernauts is a good effect. I like that. That's an extra... Oh, Juggernauts. I was thinking of something else. So it's not... Juggernauts is an okay effect. It's a mid-tier effect, so that's extra damage. Probably using this in power armor, so your damage is not going to fluctuate that much, so that's actually decent. I don't mind Juggernauts for if you're wearing power armor, just because your health is less likely to drop. But VATS hit chance, you're probably not using this in VATS. So, and damage resist while aiming, that just isn't something you're going to notice unless you're not wearing armor at all. So overall, this is a script, I think. Next, we've got a Furious Black Powder Blunderbuss with bash damage and weapon break slower. Furious on something like this is just bad. These things are usually one-shot kills, so Furious isn't really going to give you much of a benefit. And if it's not a one-shot kill, the reload in between shots is just going to make Furious really useless. Bash damage, I guess if you're playing that way, but break slower is actually good. These things could break pretty quickly, but Furious is useless, so I'm just going to throw this away. At this point, I'm hoping for something that's just remotely interesting, because so far, that hasn't happened. We got a Suppressor's Black Powder Rifle with critical damage and stealth field. Okay, stealth field, stupid. Suppressors, not useful either. Because I mean, I guess it could help because you are reloading after every shot, so while you're reloading, the enemy's damage output is less. So in theory, it could be good. In reality, you're gonna one-shot most things with this, so... critical damage is good, but other than that, I don't want any part of those other stars. Next up, we've got a Zealot's minigun with last round and weapon break slower. Okay, last round on something that holds 500 is just idiotic. Zealots, you really don't need extra damage against Scorch, plus it's enemy specific, so I don't care for that. Weapon break slower, I don't find that heavy guns in general break all that quickly. Overall, this is 3 stars I don't want. We've got a Hunter's Enclave Plasma Pistol with bash damage and perception. Hunters, enemy specific and weak enemies at that. Bash damage, this is not something you're going to be bashing with. +1 perception. At that point, it doesn't matter because the first 2 stars are bad, so we move on. All right, crossing my fingers for something that's not disappointing. I need to cross more fingers, I guess. Gourmand's Gamma Gun with bash damage and damage resist while reloading. So that 3rd star is really not that beneficial unless if you're not wearing armor, that's a good effect. But if you are wearing armor, it's not all that useful. Bash damage, I don't think you'd be bashing with this. At least I wouldn't. Gourmand's is an okay effect. It's a mid-tier effect. But other than that, this is just not, this doesn't interest me at all. Next on the list, we got a Gourmand's Missile Launcher with critical damage and movement speed while aiming. This is not 2-shot and it's explosive, so I don't care what the other stars are. Well, so far I'm thankful that I'm not spending more script. I'm glad I'm only spending 2,500 and not 7,500 because I'd be ready to leave at this point. But on we go. Furious Gatling Plasma with damage while aiming and 90% reduced weight. This is actually pretty good. Furious on something like this, you are going to, I mean, the damage is relatively low, so the Furious effect is going to ramp up pretty quickly, so that's good. Damage while aiming, this is not a VATS weapon, so you're either going to be manually aiming it or hip fire. So if you manually aim, that's extra damage, so that's good. And this is a heavy weapon, so 90% reduced weight is good. So overall, this is the best thing we've got. I probably won't use it, but it is the best thing that we've gotten so far. Next, we've got a Zealot's Double Barrel Shotgun with VATS hit chance and 90% reduced weight. Well, the Shotgunner perk, I think it's I can't remember what it's called. I think it's Scatter Shot, the one that gives you reduced weight on shotguns. So you probably don't need that as a legendary effect. VATS hit chance is actually my favorite 2nd star for shotguns in general, but damage to Scorch makes this a complete no-go. Next, we've got a Exterminator's Tesla Rifle with damage while aiming and chance to generate a stealth field. Okay, stealth field, useless effect. Exterminators, we really don't want enemy-specific damage, and damage while aiming, that could be good if you're manually aiming this, but I think people tend to hip fire with these just to kind of tag enemies for the most part, so overall this is a no-go. Next, we've got a Juggernaut's Railway Rifle with weapon speed and movement speed while aiming. Okay, so Juggernauts is a mid-tier effect, and Railway Rifles are already very strong, so that would make this weapon hit even harder. Weapon speed, I actually don't like weapon speed on a Railway Rifle. It fires really quickly when you put the automatic receiver on it, which is really how you want to use these for the most part. And it makes it impossible to fire just 1 shot with that on. You're always going to fire at least 2, even with a quick trigger pull. So I'd rather have something like critical damage or VATS hit chance, something else. And that 3rd star is completely useless. This would be kind of like a beginner. If you wanted to get into Railway Rifles as a commando, this would be a good starter, but you'd be looking to upgrade. Next up, we've got a Furious Black Powder Rifle with faster movement speed while aiming and limb damage. Okay, something like this with Furious, it's really bad. We had the same thing on the Black Powder Pistol, so this is not any better, and we've already talked about that one, so next. I think I may have picked the wrong day to come to the Purveyor. Quad Pipe Revolver with last round and damage while reloading. Okay, that is... okay, or damage resist while reloading. Okay, that is terrible. Quad and last round, that's two stars that should never be on the same weapon. That's terrible. So we have a 24 capacity, and on that very last shot, we have a 25% to deal 100% damage. So that is just really dumb. Damage resist while reloading. Again, just not useful unless you're not wearing armor. So this is a pass for me. Thankfully, we only have 5 to go. Bloodied Single Action Revolver with replenish AP on each kill and reload speed. Actually, for a low health character, this is not bad. Reload speed is good. These reload 1 bullet at a time, so if you can speed that up, that is what you want. In fact, I don't think I'd use this gun, Single Action Revolver, unless the 3rd star was reload speed, so that's good. Bloodied, if you're playing low health, this will give you a big damage boost. And a replenish AP on each kill. That's not the best 2nd star, but it's actually not terrible either, so this is actually kind of interesting. I may give this one a try. 4 to go. Vampire's Combat Rifle, oh, okay, damage while aiming and 90% reduced weight. I guess if you didn't want to play as in VATS, and you're kind of a beginner kind of commando character, I don't know. So Vampire's is okay, it'll heal you, and if you equip this as an automatic, that can be pretty good healing. Damage while aiming, if you play out of VATS, that's actually a really good effect. If you don't, it's useless. 90% reduced weight, I really like 3rd stars that are going to give me either faster reload, reduced AP costs, something like that, faster crit refill. So 90% reduced weight, unless it's really, really heavy, it's not something I want. This is going to be script for me. Next, we've got an Instigating Black Powder Blunderbuss with limb damage and reduced weight. Okay, Instigating is really good on something like this. They already hit really hard, and we don't have any... I think we have Bloody Mess. That's the only damage perk that would apply to this, so you can see the damage, the base damage is really high, so Instigating should be really good. Limb damage, we're going for kill shots, so limb damage isn't something I care about. It's a pistol, reduced weight isn't all that good, so this could be good, but the second and third stars are a letdown. Next, we've got a Suppressor's Bow with limb damage and reduced weight. Okay, bows are really light, so reduced weight isn't all that useful. We're not really going for limb damage. Bows hit pretty hard, so you're going for kills rather than cripples, so that's not great, and Suppressors isn't great either, so this is definitely a throwaway. Mercifully, we are at the very last one. Hopefully we go out with a bang. Stalker's Light Machine Gun with weapon speed and weapon break slower. Okay, this is not a bang. This is a whimper for sure. This is not a VATS weapon. It is incredibly expensive and for AP costs, so Stalkers, even if it worked properly or worked predictably, wouldn't be useful. So weapon speed is good on this, although they do have a high fire rate, so you'll even shoot through more ammo, but you know, it's still fun. Weapon break slower. I don't find these, I've used light machine guns quite a bit, and I don't find them to break super fast, so that's an okay effect, but it wouldn't be my choice. But overall, this is going to be a throwaway. So you know it was a rough trip to the Purveyor when a single action revolver was the best weapon that you got, but such is the case. I actually think this is a interesting combination of effects, and I really do want to try this, so I will be doing that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit one of the buttons down below, and I hope you'll join me in the next one. Thank you very much.